You know, I've had this for maybe 3-4 years now. I think it's like, it has to be more, around there, 3 to 4 years, maybe even more. And I still have no clue what the CX stands for. I know this is their premium version, and it probably has something to do with the carbon fiber handle. It's not really a handle, it's more of an inlay. But like, what is the X then? Like, extreme? Like, it's, leave a comment below if you have an idea, or if you just straight up know what the CX stands for this Leatherman. It's a great day today, guys. Not only is it a great day because we're reviewing this multi-tool, it's also a fantastic day because I got a new knife in the mail. I think like 25 minutes ago I just got it in the mail right before this review. Woo! It's the knife, or the NAF Lander. I'm not huge on first impression videos, so you guys aren't going to see that. I just feel like first impression videos don't really give anything to the viewer. It's like, wow, the knife is the same as I thought it would be when I saw it online. So obviously, you know, I can get a feel for it, but you really truly don't know how the knife is, if it's awesome, if it's great, if it's bad, until you use it. So look out for a review. Usually I like to test the tools out for a minimum of 2 weeks, and that means if I'm carrying it every single day. But I will say one thing, this thing is snappy, super, super smooth. That definitely already has that going for it. But that's the knife. It also came with a pretty rad sticker. I mean, look at this thing. The amount of detail that went into this, I mean, they used the knife for the legs. I mean, that's pretty that's pretty dang cool, I gotta say. And you know what? I'm just gonna put the sticker on here too. That's how much I like it. Let's put it right over there. Back to the review. Leatherman Skeletool CX, which we have no clue what it stands for as of now. This is definitely not a new tool by any means. This came out years ago. I think 2008, around 2007, 2008, this thing came out, so it's been out for a while. It's Leatherman's minimalistic multi-tool. You guys probably heard the saying already. I've said it a bunch of times. This tool has everything you need and nothing you don't. And I really like the simplicity about that. This tool lives in my truck. It's on the driver's side door, sits in that pocket right there. And it's always there when I need it. If it's not in my truck, it's a pretty bad day. But let's start bottoms up, and what better tool to start it off this way, because the bottom of this is a carabiner, and of course, I think every Leatherman has to have some way of opening a bottle. And you have the little engraving. I think that's pretty neat. I like the fine details in these tools. But it's a bottle opener slash carabiner. And really, to my surprise, I've actually used the carabiner a lot more than I thought. And it's nice that it can also, you know, pop a top. Over here, even though the bit is kind of in the way, I could see how you could potentially use that as a lanyard hole if you need to. I'm not huge on lanyards in general, but if you wanted to, you could put one over there. Next, we'll go to the back side. It's the pocket clip. Now, I understand why they put it here. This multi-tool didn't come with a sheath. It's lightweight. It does fit well in the pocket when you can get it in your pocket. This is such a tight clip. I mean, let's see if we zoom in here. Obviously, I can't really showcase the tension that well, but I mean, it's a tight clip. And yeah, I can unscrew it, bend it back, and loosen it up a bit, but it sticks up a lot in your pocket. It's not a deep carry by any means, and I wasn't truly expecting that. It's not a knife, it's a multi-tool first, but I'm not a huge fan of the pocket clip. It's nice that it's there. You know, if I have a bag that has MOLLE webbing, I can clip it onto there. If it doesn't have a place where I can clip the carabiner. What I like is that it is removable. Not reversible, but removable. While we flip to the other side, we're gonna go to one of the main tools. And there is an argument out there that this is the main tool, but I think with a multi-tool, it has to be the pliers. But we're checking out the knife. I never had a multi-tool that felt like a legit folder. Obviously, it's a little bit different because, you know, it's bulky. You can't get as good of a purchase, but it's really, really comfortable. And I know I'm definitely not alone, especially at Leatherman HQ, because they literally made a knife that was just the bottom scale of this Skeletool. If you go on their site, right now, they'll have a folder with different handle colors that literally was just taking off the Skeletool. And it's pretty popular, and I could see why. It feels great. Love the blade design. Simple liner lock that works. Can't really complain. You can't get better than this when it comes to the knife. And that's really about it in terms of the tools on the outside. And now to open it up, and here we got your main tool. This is your pliers. These are pretty stout pliers. I mean, they do what they need to do. I mainly use the needle nose. Time to time, I'll use the wire cutter to actually just cut zip ties. I don't cut a ton of wire, but these needle nose pliers and even the regular ones have come in handy multiple times. These aren't spring loaded, which I actually am beginning to prefer. And truthfully, they really don't have to be. Really just nice, stout pliers with an awesome retro looking logo right there. Now, I've been saying a lot of great things about this multi-tool, and listen, I do love it, but there is a major flaw, at least for me, when it comes to actually the pliers. And it kind of comes to the next tool, the last tool, which is the bit. So, before we get into the last tool, I'll just talk about the major flaw. When you grip onto the tool to use the pliers, and there's only one way to grip onto this, you can see how it curves up here on the carbon fiber side. If you try to reverse it, it just doesn't work. Your hand's gonna slip up towards the head of the plier, and it's very uncomfortable. So there's only one way to hold this. You can hold it in the left hand as well, like that, but there's only one way to hold it. It is fairly comfortable, as long as you're fine with the bit digging into your hand. See now, this is with the Phillips, and I'll tell you right off the bat, it is not comfortable. When you're holding on to this and you're really trying to torque something or pull something out, this becomes very uncomfortable. And I have the Phillips in right now. If we switch this out for the flathead, this is why I normally keep the Phillips in and not the flathead, because this one actually hurts, because you got that sharp 90-degree angle right there. And if I had just slightly smaller hands and this was sticking out, no problem. But if we just hold this, if I slip it up like this, that would be fine. But it's not a comfortable grip. A lot of hot spots. I usually like choking up on it, but if I choke up, I mean, that thing's really digging in there. But it's very uncomfortable, even to the point that's slightly painful. I mean, it really digs into my palm, and so I have to leave the #2 Phillips in there, because if not, it really digs in. It still digs in with the Phillips, but not as much as that flathead. That flathead will really dig into my palm. Obviously, the main solution to this is have no bit in there, and it's perfectly fine, but it only has storage for one. So definitely what I would have to say is the major downside to this is when using the pliers, that bit can be very painful. For the last tool, we're checking out the replaceable bit. Now this thing is really neat, but this honestly, besides the blade, was such a huge selling point for me. Not only does each bit have a different size, so this one you have the #1 and #2 for the Phillips head, you can replace it with the flathead, which is super neat. But the coolest thing is that if, let's say I just have the flathead in here, and now what I do with my Phillips, just turn it around and tuck it right in. Now you do have to be pretty darn precise with this. It's got to line up just perfectly. Sometimes I'll have a slight issue, but once you get it in, all you need is just rest right in there, and if you need it, just pop it right out. Super awesome. Wait, I'm definitely not keeping the flathead in there. After you guys just saw, that flathead is not staying in there. I do not want to forget, but super neat that you could just easily replace from Phillips to flathead, and you just put the other bit right in the handle. I think that's just so cool. I don't know if this is what they had in mind, that you could fold it this way in order to practically use this. It really works well, and it comes in handy so many times. Now listen, I know this is basically a video of me just going on and how much I love it. There is one major thing I hate about it, and that's why the flathead bit stays where it is, and if I need it, I replace it and switch it back immediately. It's too painful to use. But I love it for a good reason. It's a multi-tool. It's a multi-tool that gets the job done. It has exactly what you need. Yes, there's certain circumstances where I wish, it had scissors, or that's really about it. It's about just scissors. But overall, really what I need from a multi-tool, and I think a lot of people need from a multi-tool, are those pliers and are the bits. Absolutely love it. Highly recommend it. But all in all, if you're looking for a multi-tool that's lightweight and that you could technically EDC every day, or just a multi-tool that's minimalistic and has everything you need, gotta go with the Skeletool. That's the review for today. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Please give this video a big thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button. Until next time, stay safe out there.